Hello, friends. How are you? How was your weekend? Do any good? Mine absolutely sucked. I do not recommend getting this strain. It is terrible, yet totally worth it. Worth the price of admission for our trip. Friday, I think it was Friday anyway, my kid made me cry. My oldest. Not in a bad way, in a very good way. Everything's great. But she sent me this question. She sent me this text, and she said, Dad, I have to give an impromptu speech in my comm class today, and here's what I wrote. And then she sent me a picture of what she wrote. And I'm not going to read it, because if I do, I'll start crying. And it's been a long time since I've cried on camera, so why start again? That's, no, it's fine. I just don't. If I cry, then we'll never get through this episode. But basically, it comes down to the top line. The most important lesson I've learned in life is, who cares if it sucks? And she talks about how I have taught her, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. None of this matters. Who cares? And I cried because she talked about my achievements, and she really detailed, like, here's what my dad has done because he's willing to try. Like, he's like, who gives a shit? If I screw it up, I screw it up. And I've spoken that philosophy here on this channel for 9 years. We're almost at 9 years, people. And I believe wholeheartedly, full-heartedly, in the philosophy of who cares? It doesn't matter. Do it. If it sucks, throw it away. Start over. And that's not me trying to be like dismissive or wasteful, especially, if we're not talking about like build a house and then tear it down because it sucks. Like that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about taking on life's challenges, like, or taking on a pursuit of something that you're interested in. Do it. You're going to suck. Period. Like, if something that you were trying to pursue is easy, then you're not trying to pursue it. You're just doing the thing, right? Right now, I'm learning bass. I've been learning bass for almost a year, and I still suck pretty bad. I'm not good. I can play some things pretty well, but I play other things terribly. It's fine. Are you like sitting in my living room telling me I suck? No. You know why? Because I'm not sharing it with anybody. I'm not ready to share it with people. That's kind of the whole point, right? Like, do it anyway. And sometimes, this show being a prime example, share it anyway. Who cares? I'm not saying this show sucks, but this show sucks. And it has for a long time. And that's why this hasn't turned into some, big thing. And I'm perfectly happy with that. Because it's extremely valuable to me as a person. It's extremely valuable to the core group of friends that I've gathered around this thing. It's valuable to them. And there have been individual episodes that are extremely valuable to some people that are completely outside my sphere but have found me because of those episodes. And therefore, there is value. This project as a whole does not suck. Individual episodes might, but this project as a whole has achieved something well beyond myself. And I think that's kind of the point. There are so many parables around the idea of who cares if it sucks. Have you heard the story of the Japanese, like the master Japanese artist, and somebody asked him to paint them a picture of a cat, and he says, okay, go away and give me 3 years or something like that. And the guy says, sure. And then he comes back 3 years later, and the dude takes his brush and he goes, choo, 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 and done. And the guy's like, oh my God, this is a masterpiece. Why did you make me wait 3 years when all you had to do was these 3 brush strokes? And so the master opens the door to his studio and says, and there's just thousands of terrible pictures of cats just scattered. And he's like, because it took me 3 years. That's kind of the point, right? Like that's the same parable. Who cares if it sucks? It does not matter. Does your life and limb depend on it? Then maybe care. Does your well-being depend on it? Maybe care. You can care to a point, though. You don't have to go to some extreme with everything. It doesn't, life doesn't work that way. And if somebody judges you for your passion or something that you're trying to accomplish, that person, their opinion doesn't matter anyway. Screw them. Like, they're just garbage. Like, they have nothing of value to add, so they're going to just try to tear you down. And those people are bullshit. My other favorite version of this kind of who cares if it sucks is like an advice to a man, whatever that means. I don't know. I would say advice to anybody is, if you want to build confidence, climb a mountain and tell no one. I've said it many times on the show, and the idea is, do the thing that brings you value, but you don't need to preach it. You don't need to make posts about it and espouse it constantly that I climbed to this mountain. It doesn't. That's not how you build confidence. That's how you build, like, I don't know, a need for acceptance or a gross parasocial relationship with everybody around you. Just do the thing and be proud of it, and that will build your confidence. And this is the same thing. Who cares if it sucks? If it sucks, don't share it. If you're super embarrassed by it, don't share it. Sometimes, in my case, I intentionally share those things that suck. A few years ago, I did a drawing thing where I was going to try to draw every day, and I did it for a month, and many of those drawings were terrible, and I felt embarrassed by them, but I've posted them anyway because it doesn't matter. Did my life fall to ruin? Did everybody around me, lose faith in me because I posted 30 terrible pictures? No, none of that happened. Nothing happened, actually. Nothing at all. That's not true. Actually, positive things happened. People found it and became inspired by it and started doing their own thing. And I think that's kind of the point, right? Who cares if it sucks? Doesn't mean do shitty work. It means that doing shitty work is how you get better, is how you improve. Because you'll recognize that, oh, this sucks. And then next time you try a little harder and a little harder and a little harder and a little harder, and those little harders stack up big time. Now, if you're doing shitty work intentionally, that's just being subversive, and maybe you're not such a great person and you should think about that. But who cares if it sucks is powerful, and it's a wonderful way to live. Free from expectations that you need to be something beyond what everybody expects of you. Expectations that you should achieve more than your peers. Like, that's all just superficial garbage that gets in the way of you doing things that bring you honest joy. And what other people think of those things doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Says the guy sitting in a chair for 9 years, searching for approval on the internet. I don't know what that all means, but what I do know is try the things. Try them all. Even if you're terrible at it, just give it a shot. Magic might happen. And I think that in order to, if you sit down and you say, I'm going to write a top 20 song, you're probably going to fail. Unless you've written a few 100,000 not 100,000, a few thousand not top 20 songs, right? Could you succeed? Sure. That's when the magic happens. Could you be one of those people that just stumbles into something and figures it out very quickly and magic happens? Yeah. Now the hard part is recreating that magic. And that's going to take those reps. That's going to take the 1,000 reps to get to it. Be willing to do that work. Be willing to put that effort in. And then you can create magic. But from the get-go, who cares if it sucks? That's all I got for you today. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody who could benefit from this sort of thinking, share it with them. And if you're not subscribed here, please do so. I very much appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. Today's 1,000 plus little things happy, successful people do differently. We are learning 12 ways to get a second chance in life. Number 1, let go of the past. Every difficult moment in our lives is accompanied by an opportunity for personal growth and creativity. But in order to attain this growth and creativity, we must first learn to let go of the past. We must recognize that difficulties pass like everything else in life, and once they pass, All we're left with are your own unique experiences and the lessons required to make a better attempt next time. That's yeah. There you go. How do you let go of the past? You just, if it sucked, who cares?